Hey folks, welcome back. Yet another right hand tutorial. This is going to be the method called palm muting that I'm a big fan of. I do a lot of palm muting, and again, as I explained in my previous tutorials, palm muting affords you the opportunity to create a tempo, a beat, a bottom of the song, to give the song a bottom, to give it some heart. But you can also do cha-chas, and you can do calypso music. There's all kinds of things you can do palm muting. So this is going to be a tutorial on how to palm mute. Let's say Margaritaville, Jimmy Buffett. Very common song, very easy to play, very popular song. If you're playing, most people will instantly recognize this song. So you can play it any number of ways. You can play it using straight variations of the root notes. Living on a sponge cake, watching the sun bake. I wouldn't play it like that. I would do living on a sponge cake, watching the sun bake. And I'll show you the difference. Again, this is my style of playing. May not work for you, but I highly recommend it if you want to be a better guitar player, if you want people to understand, realize what it is you're trying to sing or play and instantly recognize it. Then I suggest you do the absolute best job you can. For me, it being a so-so guitar player, I rely a lot on my right hand, so I'm a big fan of it, and I will continue to say it. First thing I should say is how I hold my pick. Okay, my pick is at a 90-degree angle in my thumb, like so. My index finger on the outside, and it's resting on my thumb so that the tip of that pick comes out in a 90-degree angle, and then that meets the strings of my guitar nice and straight. I also use a thinner pick than most people because the upstroke to me is just as important as the downstroke. So on the upstroke, I want that pick to bend. If I have a hard pick, or even a medium pick, a lot of times on the upstring, it'll pull that pick right out of my hand. I'll drop that pick. So I use a lighter pick. This will, again, this is a matter of preference. This is just me talking. Because my guitar playing is a lot of up and down strokes, and sometimes I'm pretty hard on a guitar. I bang it pretty good. I need that pick to be a little bit forgiving. So that's why I use a thin pick. I don't break a lot of them. It's just soft nylon. This is just a Dunlop, made in the USA. Very flimsy piece of nylon. Nothing spectacular. But again, I do a lot of up and down strokes, and I hit it pretty hard sometimes. I need that pick to move a little bit for me, so that's why I choose the thinner pick. So if you're playing out of the D chord, you can play this rooting the D note and the A note, and that'll be fine. Living on a sponge cake. So I mean, sorry, can't play an out-of-tune guitar. So you can, or you can get fancy, and again, holding the pick the way I showed you how to hold it. You're going to be using up and down strokes. You're going to, my arm rests right here on the heel of this guitar, and that leaves my forearm nice and free, and my forearm and wrist are what create that palm muting action, that beat that I'm trying to convey to you. So this again, how I do it again, this is all a matter of personal preference, absolutely. But my personal preference is to get my arm like a pendulum. Just lay it right there. I'm just laying that arm right there, and this pendulum action is what's going to work for me. I'm not killing myself. I'm not pounding that guitar like this. It's a nice smooth pendulum. So if I'm going to do this song, I'm going to do it like this. Living on sponge cake, watching the sun, all those tourists coming around. Now, see the difference? That gives, people are swinging in their chairs. They're swinging as you're playing that, because now you're giving them a, and that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing right there. I'm muting. I'm just got my hand muted the strings here so that I'm not playing a chord, because I want you to see what this hand is doing. This hand is just a, see that pivot? See that pendulum? Nice and relaxed. Don't grab that pick really tight. Kind of let it float between your fingers. Tight enough, obviously, not to drop it, but get this pendulum action down. Just sit here and do what I'm doing. Mute your guitar. Get that comfortable pendulum action going. And then you can begin to and I'm also palm muting. I'm killing it. That my palm lays across those strings and I don't let them ring. So it gives you this kind of calypso kind of, I don't know what it's called, but it gives you this. So this is what I want you to practice. I want you to develop your pendulum, get your wrists loose, get your fingers loose, get everything loose. Don't be tight. You're not going to play tight like this. If you play tight, first of all, you're going to sound really choppy, and you're going to fatigue your forearm. You're going to fatigue this muscle right here. Your wrist is going to get sore. Your fingers are going to get numb because you're holding everything so tight. Relax. Let everything, just let it swing, and spend time just playing chords. Just let them play. Let that pendulum work, and then start mixing it up. Different things you can do from here, but I want you to get this pendulum, and I want you to try to master that palm mute. On the downstroke, I play the chord and then just quickly lay my hand on the strings at the same time. See, when I play guitar, you can't see it, but this gets all dirty from my strings, and that's because see this? This is all from contact on my strings, because I'm using that. You see the darker area? That's from my strings. That darker area, that's from my strings. Those are portions of my hand that I'm using to kill those strings as I'm playing. One could argue that I should clean my strings, and that's probably correct. But at the end of the night, when I'm done, my hand looks like I've worked an 8-hour job somewhere. It's dirty because I'm using that hand to kill these strings. So, palm muting, I think, very important. Pendulum, smooth, rotation, thin pick. These are all things I think that'll help you play acoustic guitar. If you break a pick, no big deal. If you use a Fender pick, a Fender thin pick, they're pretty fragile. I love Fender products. I have Fender guitars, but their picks are not really conducive to my playing style. They're a little brittle, and I break a lot of them. These Dunlop, old beat-up nylon, I've had this pick for probably 4 years, and it's all rounded off and chewed up, but it's comfortable in my hand. Those are the picks I would recommend. I hope you understand what I'm trying to put across with these tutorials. Even though I'm describing it and absolutely demonstrating it for you, it's still going to rely on you to practice these techniques and to get comfortable and to learn to get the kind of sound that you want to get out of that guitar. Palm muting is one way, finger picking is another way, and there's a host of others that I'll touch on down the road. Again, big fan of the right hand. Big fan. I want you to be too. Talk to you.